Hello everyone, welcome to Hue at Home. I'm Tracy Koga. Today it's all about getting together with old friends, so we're going to start the show off doing just that. Let's head into the Hue Chat Room, and I welcome back the Hue crew with all of their great stories for 2021. Well, this is one very, very special show, and I'm so happy I've got Charlotte here in person, live. I keep on saying live.
I am so happy to be here, and it's been a long time.
I know, and it's nice just to see, look, you've got some sexy black leather pants. Like, I think for 2 years we've just seen the tops from our waist up, but I guess this year again, right, Charlotte? It's been a whirlwind, but also there's been some really important things that you have done, especially with Live Your Truth.
Yeah, Robin and I have had just an incredibly exciting and busy year, and just really working on more companies and organizations introducing peer support and what that looks like in their company or their organization, and seeing the value in it, and then seeing the impact it has once it's been implemented. So Rob and I were just working with Winnipeg Transit last week. Wow. So there's a whole bunch of bus drivers now with the tools to be awesome peer supporters, and we're really looking to see where that goes. And then we've got our normal peer support training that we have for healthcare, and running our last one of the year starting on Monday. So we've got, I think, about 24 people coming on, and from all organizations across Canada and the United States, and they're really excited, and we're excited too to start.
When you kind of think of it, even like when we started going virtual, and even before that, peer support wasn't like a common thing, right? Like it was still in its infancy, and look at where it is now, and it is so important. And you know what I love about it? Anybody can really be a peer support person, right?
Totally. And it's been around for a long, long time. It's just getting a lot more attention, which I'm a huge fan of that, because I know in my family story, peer support had a huge impact, and I saw what it had on my daughter, but it also on me, and I know for many people it could be something that could make a huge difference. I'm not saying it's everything, like some people need clinical, some people need therapy, but it's whatever works for you. And I know the families that we work with, and they're just like, where's this been? I'm so glad we have it.
Oh, well, you know what? Besides all of these things that you've been so busy on, I've missed the conversation. So I'm going to open up the door and let all of our beautiful, beautiful souls come in. You know what? It is so great to see all of you, Amy, Linda, and Cynthia. It has been way too long. Now living in London. And okay, I'm going to start with you. Cynthia, this year has been a big year for you too. I've followed you on LinkedIn, all of the projects you've been working on. So fill us in, girl.
Oh my gosh. I continue doing the education. I've worked with some absolutely amazing organizations this year. I think probably the proudest was multiple repeat sessions with LinkedIn, the company. They found me on LinkedIn, and it's led to a wonderful relationship that's evolving, will continue to evolve in 2022. I worked with a few folks on the coaching kind of space. I'm kind of stepping away from that. It's more like I see myself as within my gender identity practice, much more as a consultant and specialist rather than as a coach. And so really it's kind of had a pivot. So on LinkedIn, you would have seen that partnered with a whole bunch of cohorts. So I don't remember them all, but I just had one that had my first client engagement through that. That was here in London. And so we did it digitally. That was amazing. They brought 40 individuals to the table. It's a company of 5,000. They want to train everyone. So I'd probably be doing some more of that in 2022, I expect. Other ones, it's just a startup cohort right there in Winnipeg that I am bringing my gender identity lens to as well. Also working with, met these amazing individuals we have started probably one of the most unique things, something we're calling Pride Superheroes. And Pride Superheroes are 3 queer coaches, consultants, backgrounds who have the ability to help teach others how to be their own superhero. And you don't have to be queer to necessarily journey that, but our focus is really helping businesses help their marginalized communities really, find their strength, find their voice, become their own superhero. So that's a brand new cohort. I'm working with an amazing gentleman out of Israel, an amazing woman out of, she's Italian, but she's based in Portugal right now, and myself here in the UK. And our goal is global, is to create this amazing global network of superheroes. So, yeah, that's just some of the things that we've been working on, and I've been blessed to, again, have lots of really unique individual engagements and made some wonderful connections. Yeah, so.
But do you miss us?
Well, I do. You know what? I mean,
know.
I miss not only this amazing crew, I miss, all of my friends. I mean, I did have my daughter after 2 years during a university break. She popped over and came and visited me for the first time in 2 years. Not gonna lie, that was a hard one to say goodbye to. So, I allowed myself a moment to let those feelings out and to express them. And yeah, but she's back working on finals in Saskatchewan there, as she's in law school. So yeah, that's been exciting, and I absolutely miss everyone. But I also find, making an amazing group of friends here. But this also still feels like home, oddly enough, even though Winnipeg was home for 40 some years. Right now, London feels like home.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good. We're happy that you're happy, Cynthia, and we're just so glad that you could join us. And hello, Miss Rana. How are you?
I actually forgot how to work Zoom there for a second. I'm good. Hi, everyone. Amy, Linda, Cynthia.
Yes.
Who's in the chair? I can't see.
Oh, Charlotte.
It's me, Charlotte.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
There we go. Amy, I know that you have to leave, early too, to go pick up your daughter, but you've had a busy year too. So fill us in, Amy, with all your work, and then of course, I Am Love Project.
Oh my, well, definitely a busy year, but I don't know, this year I feel like I pulled back from a lot of speaking engagements and just really being out there and really taking the time to be a mom. I feel like I haven't done that in quite a while. So again, still taking advantage of this whole COVID situation and being a lady, being a mom, working. I have a full-time job, and then I Am Love. I Am Love has we've been working on quite a few things. We have launched our new collection of our bracelets, and there's bangles and there's beautiful earrings. That was that was a lot of hard work. And then we have a new collection coming out called XOXO by I Am Love. So there's 12 necklaces, and they all feature someone's story, someone's recovery story, whether that's addictions or mental health or being incarcerated, just women that is strong, that is resilient, that's ready to conquer the world. And that's coming out shortly. So I'm really, really excited about that. And then just seeing everyone's faces and being able to go out again. And I know at the beginning we were talking about, people traveling in Arizona. My friend just got back from Scottsdale. And again, same thing, no masks, all hugs, great weather. And it seems like nothing has changed for them. And I'm really, really looking forward. I'm starting to live that life where I'm just going out, not really tuning into the news that much. It is really, I'm putting it behind me and just embodying. I'm going into 2022 with a different mindset, with a different energy. And Yeah, that's about it.
Wow, like a chill Amy, right? I mean, when we first met, girl, you were like, boo, like going this and doing that, and you know what? Yeah, it is wonderful just to see cool Amy.
Trying to. I mean, I get FOMO every so often being on Instagram and saying, oh, well, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not doing anything. And
No.
really, really, that was interesting to kind of work on that in terms of like myself and being just like, no, that's okay. That's okay. I've done that. And there's much more to come in the near future, right? Just
Yeah.
gotta take time.
Oh, and I just want to share actually a story, and you might appreciate this too. So, a girlfriend of mine, Amy, bought a bracelet with her mother for their daughter-in-law, and the bracelet came, and she opened it up, and it wasn't what they ordered. So she went back online and said, "Sorry, this wasn't what we ordered, and can we return it?" And so instantly they got a message back from I Am Love Project, and they said, "Oh, we're so sorry." They sent out the bracelet, the correct one, and they said, "Keep that bracelet that we sent by accident and pass it and give it to somebody else."
Oh, nice.
And she said, she got all teary-eyed talking about that to me, and she says, "Please tell Amy, share that story." So, you know what? Practice what you
I
preach.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it was really sweet, and it's like all of us right here. We always have that kind of compassion.
I remember that, and then I think they emailed back and they're like, you know what? That was like the best email ever. I actually want to pay for the bracelet.
Yes, yeah, she did, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
anyways, there are good hearts in their city, and you know what? Hey, makes the day, right?
Oh, I know. And Amy, I love your wire bracelets. I was looking on it. Your advertising's working because it came across Instagram as I had some time last night, and I went, and I'm the worst person. I can't order stuff online, so I have to get somebody to do it because I always mess up. So my conversation with my daughter was, could you order these for me? And then it was, is that a Christmas present? And anyway,
Yeah.
hoping. They're beautiful. Really like them.
Thank you. Thank you. And the ears are really great. The clear quartz, the rose quartz, they're little tiny dainty earrings. They're so cute, and they've been like selling like hotcakes at like the Fork. So I'm really excited with this being able to expand the collection in the last year, which took a lot of work. But I'm glad. Great feedback. Thank you so much, ladies.
Oh no, it's great. Okay, Linda, you get the check mark for the most festive.
I didn't know there was a contest, but I will take that.
You will take that to the bank. Yes, and you've been busy too. How is life? How is the podcast? Everything?
How is everything? Everything is, well, I'm feeling festive. Festive as right now. And maybe I'm not supposed to swear on there. I'm not sure, but
You just did.
oh well.
Oh well.
Oh. And I'm really looking forward to the new year. One of the things, as a coach, I market my stuff all the time in different ways. I do a lot of networking. I'm on social media because I really do find social media quite fun. But something that I've learned recently that really has made the whole marketing business process more fun is to really show up as myself, like just 100% myself, so that the people who want to work with me are like drawn in, like they're like, yes, the chick in the sequins with the unicorn behind her, like that's for me. And for other people would be like, no, like she's swearing, she's like it's Sunday morning and she's wearing sequins, it's too much. They are just like, they're happily go find somebody else that would work with them better. So to me, it's been, especially this last 3 months, have been this just really coming home to myself. And I love what you said, Cynthia, about, you're feeling home right now where you are, even though you've been there for a short time. And that to me says, like, you're just at home in yourself. You're at home in who you are, and you get to bring that wherever you go. So that's kind of how I feel right now. Like I've come home to myself. I get to it makes the whole process of marketing so much easier and so much more delightful, because it's not this, like, cramming into a model that says, you have to show up consistently, post 3 times a day, um, touch their pain points. I don't want to touch any of your pain points, quite frankly. Like, I, you know, so it's been a really interesting time. And I feel like you, Amy, like, I feel like we've come out the end of the pandemic a bit. And I was at the Winnipeg Chambers State, I can't remember what they call, State of the Province. I was really excited to see the first woman premier speak, and she is, talk about somebody being at home with themselves. She's just a very approachable person. She's a mom. She's just seems like herself. And I was also struck by what you were saying, Tracy, was just how wonderful this city is. I was sitting next to a man, an older gentleman, and he had started a school for immigrant children about 20 years ago that's still running. And I was sitting at a table full of people who support people with mental challenges and all the work that they do. There was somebody who was doing, had a business that promoted merchandise for LGBTQ plus people. And I was really struck that how incredibly fortunate we are to live in this city with people who are so genuinely caring. We care so deeply about our community and about our people. And I couldn't be happier to have been a part of the Hue crew this past year, because hearing all of your stories and the fact that you take the time to highlight, people with mental illness and people who have challenges and how we can all come together. I've just been so appreciative of this whole group and have been delighted to be part of this journey. So thank you for
Well,
having me.
the journey is going to continue because, I mean, we can't let all of this brilliance go to waste. So, and speaking of brilliance, that leaves me with Rana. And Rana, I've missed you, but I've seen postings, and you've been working hard, and always, again, a big support. Oh. But you are a big supporter of our Indigenous community. So let's talk about 2021 has been like a big year for a lot of, I guess, revelations. Can I say that? Or, yeah.
Yeah, I think uncovering, okay, mainstream people uncovering things that Indigenous people have been screaming about for decades. So yeah, no, there's been a lot. I think that there's been some really powerful moments. I think Orange Shirt Day, No Pride in Genocide. There's been a lot of very powerful, meaningful moments. But I think, it doesn't end with a walk. It doesn't end with, wearing a t-shirt and, making it trendy. It's beautiful, it's powerful, but, it's like any other challenge. I think I still see a lot of people struggling with terms, like colonizer, genocide, not, so I'm going to remove this, but like the term colonizer, the term genocide. There's still a lot of that conversation, and it's sometimes coming from the same people who are front and center for when it comes to walks. So you'll see them at the walk, and then like 20 minutes later they'll be like, yeah, but not that. So there's a lot of caring for sure. I echo Linda's sentiment. Like Winnipeg is definitely a very caring, generous, kind place, and we're kind of like the small town in the big, we have our uniqueness about that, but just when it comes to really, very difficult, emotionally charged issues, I think we're getting there, and I think there's a lot of hope when we see what happened in 21, and I think that's a good way to
go
move
up.
forward.
Yep.
A lot of good things happened, a lot of bad things happened. We just had another death by an RCMP or Winnipeg police up north a few days ago. That family was on they had their press conference 2 or 3 days ago. There's still been a lot of death, a lot of violence at the hand of institutions. So there is still a lot, but yeah, and other than that, for me, work is work, and I'm loving it every day, and I'm enjoying life, and I'm going out. I'm like Amy, I'm out. I got my booster booked for next week. Not even this week. So I'll get my booster shot this week. Super excited.
Yeah. So you're living life.
I'm living life. Yeah.
Aw, well, that's so
Definitely.
good. All right. And then I see Susie. Oh my goodness.
Kind of.
So nice to see everyone's faces. It's so great.
I know. I only wish I could make the studio bigger, which I think I might. So then, I think by the new year, January, February, we can at least all sit
We took
together.
for granted all that time that we had in the studios, didn't we?
I know, we did. So, okay,
We really did.
Fill us in then, Susie, on 2021.
Thoughts on 2021?
It flew by.
It really did. Like when December came upon us, I was quite surprised actually, because I don't know where the year went. But yeah, 2021 was, I don't want to say it was a horror show, but I mean, it was not better than 2020, I don't think, except for the vaccine, and having my youngest vaccinated now is great. That is the only sort of highlight for me kind of thing. I think that we are still going to be dealing with a lot of the struggles that the pandemic has kind of highlighted. And I think the return to work conversation is still not the right one that we're having, actually. And I think that a lot of the return to work conversation really needs to be framed around how commuting contributes to climate change. And we really need to be rewarding and incentivizing employers and workplaces to encourage their workers to work from home whenever possible. Not every employer can do that. I get that. So that's why the ones who can help mitigate the ones who can't. And I think that that's the conversation that we really need to be focusing on as far as climate change is concerned. We are seeing so much of the effects of what's happening, not just in our province with drought, but even in BC with the flooding and everything like that. We have the opportunity to take stock and to do things differently, and I don't think we're doing that in the right way. So that's sort of what I see on the horizon for 2022. And you know what? I think that it's been nice to gather with family and friends again in a safe and smart way. And I really am looking forward to that this holiday season. And I'm looking forward to the next sort of phase of, I don't want to say getting out of this, but the next phase of getting to another level of safety. So that's the only way I can phrase that. Yeah.
And then, so that's you personally then too, right? Like, are you living it like some of us are doing it, or no, Susie?
No. So for me, it's I struggle with anxiety around large events and going out into the world again. I don't know how to sugarcoat that, but I do struggle with anxiety there for sure. Now that my daughter has her first shot, that alleviates a little bit of that calms that down for me a little bit. But I still want to be safe. I still, and I've said this before, even when we first started this, I am never letting anybody breathe on me ever again. I'll be masking up when I'm in large crowds. I will not be getting close to feel your breath on my face. That horrifies me. No, thank you. And so I think that, what that level looks like for each person is different. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to large events right now. I'm not back into the full swing of things. I actually went out to an event a couple weeks ago and I had to talk myself into it for like a full like almost a week. And even like leading up to the event, I'm just like, you know what, maybe you don't have to go, da 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 da. And it's just like, nope, we're gonna go, we're gonna be safe, we're gonna, you know, do this, and we're gonna go. You don't have to stay for the whole thing, but we can go. And so I did. I stayed for a bit. And then when I started to feel that my energy was getting depleted, I left, you know, and I think that's okay. I think that we can expect much more from people. And I think that we have to really be gracious and compassionate with people who normally struggle with anxiety and who are going to be struggling with anxiety as we get sort of out back into quote unquote normal times. So, you know, whatever works for you, I think is best. And I think it's a really good lesson to define what that means for you and to put in place those boundaries that work for you and your family.
Wow, and like that's such a great thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, I kind of there's a commonality in this conversation,
Yeah.
right? People finding their good spot, finding
Yeah.
home.
What works for them. Really proud of you, Susie. And I know Amy was nodding through all of that because you figured out what's working for you, and that's amazing. And I know that's a conversation I have with a lot of my friends. I'm like, hey, listen, it's whatever what you're comfortable with. Like, if you want to get together, great. If you don't, great. I understand. Like, you know, it's and having those conversations. And I'm not going out as much as some of you guys are. I'm still trying to get into that flow. But my partner's down in Arizona, and he says there's no COVID in Phoenix, like Linda's friend was saying, and he sent me a joke, but it's not really a joke. He said, how do you tell the Canadians in the Costco in Phoenix? And I said, how? They're the ones wearing a mask. So there's like nothing with, you know, COVID down there. Yeah, I don't know.
Anxiety, though, it's there. Like Cynthia too, right? It's been sort of a roller coaster ride there in the
Yeah.
UK. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we went into summer and the life that you're all talking about very much. I've been attending large events. I've gotten my booster as well. And, you know, but we're at 45,000 cases a day right now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And we're back to mandatory by law masking on public transport, anywhere indoors. People don't like it. They're arguing against it. Yeah, so they're really trying to prevent that we don't go into lockdown for the holidays, is where we're at, because we've now got, well, I haven't listened to the news because I was out staying with friends for the weekend, and I came back into London for this event. And it was, you know, I think we're got a few hundred cases of that brand new variant are here in the UK already. So welcome to the next wave.
Yeah.
It is, you know, without talking on the politics side, I mean, the one statement I heard from the government that I really agree with is that it was a matter of learning to live with this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that means for each of us as to how we want to live with it. For me, it's a much more fully engaged life. I'm going to large person events. I've taken on a side job as a hostess at parties. So yeah, I mean, I'm totally out socializing, engaging, but if you're on transport, you're in public, you're masking, and really hoping that the vaccines protect us at this point.
Crazy, crazy times. I mean, so for Rana, like, I mean, too, like, we've often talked, like, on, I mean, this whole kind of crazy world that we live in, like being single and meeting, and how do you meet people? And we covered all of that before, but like it's
You don't.
yeah.
No, it's not that. I don't know. It's complicated. It's probably not a topic I want to talk about today at all.
No, not on a Sunday morning.
Touchy subject. Touchy subject today for sure. No, but it is difficult, and I don't know. I'm just in a different headspace altogether. Just about human beings, and I don't know. I hate to be the downer, but I think people are pretty awful sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think that, I think sometimes, you know, when you're like, I don't know, 35 plus, you I don't know, you tend to give people more chances than they really deserve, maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like we have to be like pretty solid about your own values and what's acceptable to you in your world and your life. And I don't think that, because you can't date because it's COVID or because you're online and like all these things should minimize the importance of those core things. So when it comes to that, I mean, believe me, I'm learning my lessons. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I know it's hard, but I don't. It's not really a thought in my mind right now at all. I'm kind of over it. Done. I don't really care. Right now, I want to work, and I just, I'm really enjoying. Just on the note of going out, like I've been actively going out. You guys are all on my social media. I'm literally out almost every night. And there's things that give me comfort when I go out. I appreciate the fact that people are masked walking in. I appreciate the vaccine checks are very solid. You will not walk into 90% facilities in this city for dinner if you are not vaccinated or if you don't have proper identification. So, kudos to those institutions who are literally just making things work. You literally getting up from a table to go to the bathroom, your masks are on, no one, like there's things that are just comforting. And I think that for me, those things matter. And then I'm also like Susie, like there's a part of me that doesn't, like I definitely am not going around hugging strangers, which is something I used to technically do, which is very different for me, but I have my core group of people. I'm very aware of who they are, what they're about, what their family lives are about. They're part of my family day-to-day life. I talk to them all the time, so there's that. But on the same note, I know people, even with the vaccine, who have gotten COVID, very mild. And this is a super important point. It is not going to put you in the hospital 99% of the time. Right? So that is what we're trying to avoid. It's just like getting the flu vaccine. When we get the flu vaccine, I still get the flu. I had it, I got the flu vaccine like last, I would say maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I still got the flu, but it didn't kill me. Right? So I think that there's some really important parts about that. And I think there's a lot of misconception about that. About, oh, well, now there's these variants and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, there's variants and we'll continue on and we'll move on and we'll do what we have to do. But I think that this city deserves credit because all of our restaurants are just perfect. They're beautiful, they're full, people are happy, people are doing what they do, but they're being very cautious and we're protecting each other. So I think that's pat on the back for everyone who has the stability, like who feels stable enough, because I didn't for a long time. Like it took me a while to get and I was where Susie is right now. Scared, excuse my language, scared. And then I kind of slowly made my way into it, and now I feel pretty good about it. So it is scary, but I think it does help. It does help give you a sense of there is something normal in this world. You can go and sit across from somebody you love and care about and have a really good conversation in person. And it just takes time, And Susie, like I appreciate where you're at, and I'm sending you a lot of love and strength because it's hard. And I had to really push myself, and I had to make that decision, being like, you know what, I'm a social person. If I don't start to see people, I will literally totally be a different person. Like I knew that I was losing myself. Right. So that's kind of why I had to push myself. But like everyone else, it was not an easy thing to do, to just, roll into a restaurant with like 30, 40 different people when you've been isolated for so long. Right. But you'll get there, and it does help. It does help,
I'm really good in like in malls and restaurants. I'm okay because they seem like smaller spaces. Yeah. But it's the like big events, like arenas, like when I see people at concerts and stuff like that just does not. And maybe it's because I'm seeing it and I'm imagining it versus being there. I don't know, but to me, it just seems such a big leap. But I know I'll get there one day. But today is just
if you want.
If
you want, right?
Yeah. So, and to be fair, like you say, you're a social person. I'm embracing my introvert that has been trying to tame me for years. So I'm okay with that.
I'm a fake social person. Let me clarify.
Like you're out in the public eye, right? So you kind of have to force, and I've been in the same position, like where you kind of have to force yourself to be on and to do things even when you don't necessarily feel up to it, right? So
Yeah.
for years, I had to do that. And now, like these last couple of years have been like, oh, okay, I can actually like say no to things and like not do things and like be okay and say, yeah, I don't feel like that today. Or, yeah, no, I'm not doing that today. Or, like whatever. And I feel like that's really liberating. So
Right.
I agree with you.
Aw.
I went to a concert. So I've been to, I don't know, numerous of hockey games. And I don't even know why I'm not even into hockey, but whatever. Totally different story for a different time. But I do support Winnipeg teams regardless. Whether I understand what's going on or not, I'm in. Now, so I've been to a few hockey games, probably like six, seven around, in the past probably year. And then I actually went to a concert, and so I'm not a country music fan, no offense. Like I'm not. I've never been into it. But I went to a Dean Brody. I don't know who Dean Brody is.
Yes,
Okay, so I
yes,
went to Dean
yeah.
Brody.
That was like in the
I
last
absolutely
couple
loved
weeks.
it.
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and I was like, man, I need to embrace this. I'm having a good time. Like I'm really
Good
digging
place
this tune.
to meet people.
Meet somebody.
But it was packed. Like
Yeah.
it was legit a full on, like next to each other, everyone sitting next to each other concert.
Yeah.
But again, people were very respectful. People were wearing their masks. People were, there were people who would take them off when they were blah, 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 but 90% of the time. And the arena had very strict people, like had people standing right in front, making sure that if a mask came off, and if you're not drinking, it's come right back on. And they will literally pull you. They'll literally be like, you, mask on. So there's just some things in place that kind of make it better. But yeah, so I've
So great.
really
That's so
happy.
assuring. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
So
great.
there are a lot of things in place that make it less crazy. Like makes you feel less like, what are you guys doing?
So Linda, have you been out and about?
Well, I was thinking about this when you were talking. The biggest one was last week to the state of the province for the Winnipeg Chamber. That was the convention center, and there were 1,200 people there. So
Wow.
there was a moment where I was, oh my gosh, like I am in it.
You're in it. Yeah.
I'm in it. But you know what? The same as what Rana and Susie were saying. People were being very respectful. You sat at the table. If you weren't eating or drinking, you put your mask on. Everything was checked. Your IDs and your vaccination cards. So I did feel a level of comfort that people were doing their best. I didn't feel that it was in any way. It did feel safe to be out. So yeah, I feel like I'm venturing out more and more. I find myself sometimes forgetting that where we're at, and that's kind of a nice feeling. It's like running into the store and having to run back and get my mask because it's not top of mind is actually a very nice feeling. So I would, I'm feeling fairly safe and fairly optimistic about the next year, 2022. Seems odd to say 2022, but it's coming.
Know. It's coming.
So
yeah. So I guess, ladies, Cynthia, what do you most want to see happen in 2022? Personal or whatever.
I don't know. I'm really still working on what I want. At this point, for me, 2022, I've got a number of kind of irons in the fire. And I'd really like to have some of them kind of come home to roost. So some, there's some part-time work with a number of different contracts I would love to see come to fruition. Even open to, quote, going out of self-employment, going back into employment. Also my daughter's challenged me to see if I can get out of the UK and get back to Saskatchewan for June, which is when she graduates law school. So
that's a challenge.
Right now, that's a big ask for me, and I'm just not sure how to make it happen. So that's front and center of my thinking of how do I make that happen. So yeah.
Wow. So some big asks, but I think maybe a big
Yeah.
year then. How about for you, Charlotte?
Gosh, 2022. One of the things that Kirsten and I have been working on, which we're most excited about, is the introduction of our nonprofit called All in Family. So we're having the announcement in January about that. And so what does that look like? What Kirsten and I have been doing has been housed under Robin's and my company, Robin Priest Live Your Truth, and it's supporting families, and it's part and parcel with the Pure Connections Manitoba and the Manitoba government and my company. It's a free service that we support families, and we've been coming up with some roadblocks, and the roadblocks are working in schools, and they said, you know, we can't work with you because it's housed under a for-profit company, and we're like, but it's free. It's a free service. And they said, no. So All In has separated from Robin's and my company, and it's a standalone nonprofit. So we're super excited about it. And what that is supporting families who are supporting somebody who has mental health and addiction, challenges. And family to us is whatever family is to you. So we're running support groups. There's navigation. There's how to just have conversations, and how to have conversations with healthcare, how to have conversations with your family members and things like that. So we're super excited about that, and everybody who works for All In is of course trained through Robin Priest Live Your Truth. So it's still very somewhat connected, but it was time for it to be launched and on its own. So I'm very excited about that. And 2022 for me and for Robin is it's all about time, and still taking time for ourselves, but time in growing our business, time in looking at different things, like we've been talking about doing certain projects, and we don't have this time, and when are we going to make time? So it's planning so we can do all these things, and increasing the level of peer support in our province would be awesome too. So,
and lovely to see all of you ladies in person. That is my goal. We're going to expand the studio, and I want to continue these conversations on a more regular basis. And Cynthia, you will always be in our hearts and here. The chair is there waiting for you. And it's just so good to see everybody. And I think 2022 is going to be a good year.
Hey, what about you?
What about me?
Yeah, what about you?
No, that's the same old.
Oh, same old.
Yeah, I think I would like to have Hue more out there. We've been kind of in the back little room doing all of these chats, and there's just so many dynamic people. And so that's my goal for 2022. So working with all of you and all of your projects, Rana and I think Susie, both of you should run for mayor. I would have a hard time, but I would support both of you. That would be one of my goals. Yes. Stop scrunching your face, Miss Bokhari.
No, you just caught me off guard.
No,
I
I
think
think
is what it is.
no. Yeah, it is what it is. But thank you so much. And Linda, let's keep in touch. Life coach, you're finding your home. I mean, all of these things make so much sense. And you know what's really grounded me too. And I love all of you.
I just, when we're talking about 2022, I did a fantastic exercise the other day for planning. And it was how we usually do the goal setting this time of year, and we think about our business, and that's very high top of mind for me is my business. I'm loving it these days, working with different clients, helping them reach their goals. But the twist that I like to look at for planning for the future is asking myself, what conditions do I need to thrive? And really having that be the most important question that we ask ourselves. What do we need personally? And it looks different for everyone, because some of us are introverted, some of us are extroverted, some of us, we all have these different needs and essences that light us up. But what do we need to thrive? And for me, that's outdoors, that's, tea, that's time with my kids, that's, just all the things that make me feel energized. Put that in place first, then put in place your vacations. Like I was thinking about you, Cynthia, wanting to get to Saskatchewan. Put that in place. Put in place the treats that we get, like our massages and our nails, or, whatever makes us feel like, we've gotten some sort of reward, something special that for us. Calendar those out and then put in your goals after. And really the priority is energizing yourself, because without that, nothing works. So what conditions do you need to thrive? That's the question to ask yourself right when you're thinking about the new year. I'll leave you with that.
Okay. On that note, thank you all, ladies. Have a wonderful, happy holiday, spending it with family and friends. And we'll see you all in the new year. Be in touch, or I'll be in touch. Take care.
Have a wonderful new year, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. So tell me what's up. I'm digging you. I'm feeling you. Girl, you know what's up. Say I'm digging you. And I'm wanting you. So tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up.
We want to give a very special thank you to all of our guests on today's show and leave you with this question. What is going to bring you comfort in 2022? We want to know, so send us an email to hello@ilikehue.com, or you can message us on Facebook and Instagram at iLikeHue. But for now, like always, stay well and healthy, and we'll see you next time on Hue at Home. And we'll leave you now with the premiere of Garrett Neiles' new single, Stumblin Home.
I'm overconfident, and I don't always see the consequence. My ego gets tall, think I know it all, but you predict the fall just like you do every time. And you pull me from my vices that give me bad advice, and I know that, yes I know that you deserve much better. I keep trying to get there, but I stumble. Yeah, I stumble. And you say, sometimes you're just a stranger in disguise. I don't recognize, but baby, well I know I can keep loving you with my eyes closed. I wear your heart like an accessory, and I play with it so easily. I screw up, I get high, I get so out of line, but I'll be stumbling home to you every damn time. Sometimes I think that the only thing more stubborn than me is your loyalty. And you always know the right punch to throw to make a man of me. So look me in the eyes, get me down to size, make me realize that I take your love for granted and live on second chances. You know that, but you know that I'll be running like a bandit, won't leave you empty-handed, back to you every time. And you say, sometimes you're just a stranger in disguise. I don't recognize, but baby, well I know I can keep loving you with my eyes closed. I wear your heart like an accessory, But baby, well I know I can't keep loving you with my eyes closed.